with Senator Bernie Sanders. Senator, you wrote a New York Times op-ed defending Biden's candidacy this past Saturday, and you told Democrats to, quote, stop the bickering. Yep. Since then, Representatives Schiff, Pelosi, Jeffries, and Senator Schumer have questioned his ability to win, some to his face. And 65% of Democrats have agreed in recent polls. What happens now?
Well, the ultimate decision will be with the president. There is enormous pressure on him. And let me be very clear as to why I support the president. Because I think of all of the candidates out there, I am more than aware of the disastrous debate that he had and the problems that he has. But I am also aware that he has been the strongest, most progressive president in my lifetime. All right? He is the first president in American history to stand with workers on a picket line. He has taken on farm and lowered the cost of prescription drugs. We are now rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure. We put more money into climate change than any time in the history of this country. 5 million Americans have gotten student debt relief, and that's for a start. So he has a record to run on. But equally important, Stephen, he has recently, as you may know, come out with what he calls a 100-day agenda. If reelected, what he will do with the Democratic House and Senate in the first 100 days. And the ideas that he is talking about, I think, will resonate with the middle class and working class of this country. You got half of the elderly people in America trying to make it on $30,000 a year or less. And you got Republicans who want to cut Social Security. And you know what Biden is saying? We're not going to cut Social Security. We're going to expand Social Security benefits by taxing the wealthy.
Well, let's talk about some of the other things. As you said, he's put out what he would do for a second term, capping rent hikes.
Enormously important. In New York City, in Burlington, Vermont, all over this country, people cannot afford the outrageous rents that landlords are charging.
And banks are buying up single-family homes.
You got it. Absolutely, they are. In Las Vegas, it is unbelievable. These big Wall Street firms buying up housing all over the place. So building millions of units of affordable housing, putting a cap to the degree that we can in Washington on rents is an enormous step forward for working families in this country.
What do you think of Biden's Supreme Court reform?
From what I understand about it, I think it's an important step forward. They don't have the kind of code of ethics that members of Congress have.
So there'd be a binding code of ethics.
There would be a binding code of ethics, and I think it may well be time for term limits for the members of the Supreme Court. The Constitution provides lifetime tenure, but not necessarily on the Supreme Court. There are other federal courts as well. But the other things that Biden is talking about, if you're an elderly person today, I deal with this. I'm chairman of the committee. Elderly people can't afford dental care. They can't afford hearing aids. They can't afford eyeglasses. And he's talking about expanding Medicare to cover dental, vision, and hearing. He's talking about forgiving. You want to hear one of the craziest things? Look, I think most of us agree that our healthcare system is broken. Is it not? Yeah. All right. So we're the only major country not to guarantee healthcare at all. And one of the insane, cruel aspects of that, somebody gets cancer. They got to worry about getting well. A quarter of the people who get cancer end up going bankrupt or losing their homes because of the enormous expense they undertake. Can you imagine dealing with cancer or some other serious illness and then worried about the financial burden on your family? That is disgraceful. Biden is in favor of eliminating all medical debt. That's the right thing to do.
We have to take one more break here, but stick around. More Bernie Sanders to come in just a minute.